Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. This is Richie, and in this video, I want to talk about all the rumors and the reports that the New York Knicks could potentially be done with Cam Reddish, and they're looking to trade him this offseason to shed some cap space in order to pursue either Jalen Brunson or maybe package him for another deal. We found out from numerous reports that Cam Reddish was involved in the trade packages that the New York Knicks proposed to the Detroit Pistons and the Sacramento Kings to try to move up to get Jaden Ivey. So that does tell you how much the front office views Cam Reddish, and now we're still hearing that Cam Reddish could be on the move just to clear up some cap space. So it's obvious that the New York Knicks do not see Cam Reddish as part of their long-term future. We know that they traded for him right before the trade deadline this past season, like a couple weeks before the deadline. We gave up Kevin Knox and a future first-round pick that we got from the Charlotte Hornets that's protected, and then Cam Reddish barely did anything this year in terms of like getting even any sort of minutes. He was buried on the depth chart. He was not in the rotation. He only got some minutes when there were some injuries, and then when he finally got some time to play, he went down with an injury for his own, and we all knew that Tom Thibodeau and that Cam Reddish dynamic didn't really work right there. It felt like Tom Thibodeau didn't want to play him, and everything went bad, and then Cam Reddish was out for the rest of the season, and now we're finding out they want to potentially move on from him. So in this video, I want to give you guys my thoughts of this report. Is it smart for the Knicks to move on from Cam Reddish, or is it not? I'm going to give you guys my thoughts in this video, but before we hop into it, I just want to mention, if you guys are new to Knicks Media, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot of fun Knicks content coming your way here on Knicks Media. If you guys enjoy the video, please do not forget to thumbs it up, and check me out over on Instagram and Twitter at NYKnicks_media. With that being said, let's dive right into the video. So the one thing I have to say before we really get into anything is my biggest concern right now with the Knicks front office, and I'm just being straight up with you guys. You guys can agree or disagree with this. That's totally okay. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But I feel like this offseason for the Knicks front office and Leon Rose, it kind of feels like they're just fixing all their previous mistakes, right? They're trying to get off, well, they did get off Kemba Walker's contract. That's a contract that the New York Knicks gave him last year, 2 years, fully guaranteed, $8 to $9 million per year. They got rid of his contract by attaching 4 seconds and a first. Cool. Now it looks like the Knicks are trying to get rid of Burks and shed off his cap. The New York Knicks, gave him an extension last year, 3 years. Nerlens Noel, 3 years, and they're trying to get rid of him. And now the Knicks are trying to get rid of Cam Reddish. Why did you trade for Cam Reddish in the first place if you're just going to get rid of him? So that's another example of the Knicks trying to clean up a mistake that they made. So this offseason feels like they're just backpedaling, and they're like, oh my gosh, we have to do everything over again, and we have to fix all the mistakes. That is a good thing and a bad thing in my opinion, because it does show you that the Knicks are not just going to sit down and they're not going to do nothing, and they feel like last year was a big disappointment. As we all know, they're not just going to run it back with the same exact team, not trade Burks, not trade Noel, not trade Reddish, and just go back with the same team. I like that they're trying to be progressive here and trying to change this entire roster, hopefully. But at the same time, it's like, wow, it really shows you how bad the offseason was for the Knicks last year. They're just trying to shed off all this cap space. So when it comes to Cam Reddish and them trying to move on from him, why trade him in the first place? Why trade for him in the first place? That's my biggest concern. I do feel like Cam Reddish has potential in this league if you just give him an opportunity, and it just doesn't feel like he even has a chance to crack the starting, not even starting, but the rotation, even off the bench, even if he is on the team. So that does make me wonder, okay, he might not be part of the 10-man rotation, even if he's healthy on the roster, if we even add Brunson, or maybe we trade for Murray or whatever. So maybe it would be smart, because you have to think long-term as well. If Cam Reddish does crack the rotation, he plays well, he's a free agent after the season, he's going to want to get paid around $15 to $18 million per year. Now, as a Knicks fan, do you guys think Cam Reddish is worth that much money? I don't think he's proven that. But the only way we can see if Cam Reddish is worth that money is if we give him the opportunity to play. So it's obvious that Cam Reddish looks like he's on the way out. They could obviously keep him and try to actually give him minutes, what I would prefer, actually, because I feel like Cam Reddish has a lot of untapped potential. He was buried in Atlanta. When he finally got the opportunity to play when he was on the Hawks, he showed his talent, and then he comes to the Knicks, and the Knicks don't even give him an opportunity because there's a lot of guys ahead of him that's playing over him, like Quentin Grimes, which I'm okay with, by the way. I don't mind Quentin Grimes playing over Cam Reddish, because I think Quentin Grimes' potential is through the roof in this league. But if you look at the Knicks, rotation on paper right now, say, hypothetically speaking, we do sign Brunson, or we do trade for a point guard of like a Murray, like I made a video about that earlier this morning. If we look at the potential lineup for the Knicks, it looks like whoever the point guard is going to be, say, Brunson, for example, and then it's going to be RJ, Fournier, Randall, Mitch. Say, hypothetically, we re-sign Mitchell Robinson. And then off the bench, the 5 off the bench will be like D. Rose, IQ, Grimes, Obi, and Jericho. That's without any free agent acquisitions or any other trades. That is, obviously, hypothetically speaking, we do move on from Burks and Noel as Noel. We get off their contracts. But then Cam Reddish, where does he fit in that 10-man rotation? Is there a player that you'd rather him play over? Quentin Grimes is that guy, and I feel like I personally rather Grimes over. So then when you look at it from that perspective, maybe it would make sense if the Knicks move on from Cam Reddish, meaning you're just getting rid of his contract just so we can sign Jalen Brunson. Now, that's the biggest question, because the report that this really came out from, it's from Hoops Hype, and it's really talking about how the Knicks are just looking to get rid of Cam Reddish just because of getting Jalen Brunson. And that's the biggest question. Is Jalen Brunson worth all this work to try to create cap space, to try to go all in for him? Is he worth that? And I'm going to make a separate video about my thoughts of Jalen Brunson, but overall, I think Jalen Brunson is a very solid player in this league. I do think the best years are ahead of him. He's 25 years old. He was really good for the Mavericks last year. When Luka Doncic wasn't playing, he was averaging phenomenal numbers. He's efficient. He's just a guy that I feel like would be the best point guard the Knicks have had in quite some time. But my only issue is, if that's our only move and we're making all these different trades, like packaging 4 seconds and a first rounder just to get off Kemba's contract, potentially doing the same thing with either Noel, Burks, or even Reddish just to bring in Brunson. Is that the only move, or is there another move with all these draft picks that we have? So that's my biggest question. Like, it's obvious that the New York Knicks are trying to move on from Cam Reddish. Now, how are they going to do that? But just by attaching a pick with him and just moving on, or their interest around the league that somebody wants Cam Reddish and will actually get a pick back for him? I don't know what that package is, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Is it smart for the Knicks to do what they're doing right now and moving on from Cam Reddish after trading for him literally 5 months ago by giving up Kevin Knox and giving up a first-round pick for him without giving him any opportunities? That just screams like an incompetent front office, and I try to be optimistic on this channel. I really try to, give you guys my thoughts without being delusional or anything, but I'm just being straight up with you. Like, I'm getting a little concerned with this front office. I'm getting a little impatient. We have to see their vision before we can all, be a little overreactive and really start criticizing them. But it does say, and I'll connect this to my first point of the video, it seems like this offseason right now is the Knicks backpedaling and cleaning up all their mistakes. Now, that is a good thing, because we don't want them to just sit on their mistakes and just say, yep, we made mistakes last year with signing Noel to this contract and Burks to this contract and trading for Reddish, but we're just going to sit on it and run it back and still lose. I'd rather them try to fix the mistakes, but at the same time, it's like a little frustrating, right? Does that make sense? And I don't think the trade for Cam Reddish was a mistake, by the way. I just think this is what the front office's mindset is right now. So that's my thoughts, guys. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. All the comments in all these videos, I go through every single one of them, and I love, the budding opinions, you guys agreeing with me, you guys disagreeing with me. I really do appreciate all the comments down below, because this is a community where we're all just diehard Knicks fans, and we all have our own views on this franchise. We all want them to do this or that, and we all have the same goal, though. We all just want to see a winning team. We want to see a team that's competitive and going to the playoffs year in and year out. So that's really what this is all about, and I'm really excited to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. And also, if you guys enjoyed the video, please do not forget to thumbs it up. That helps out the video tremendously. So that does it for this one, and I'll catch you in my next one. Let's go Knicks! Peace out.